listening to the Real Guys podcast, the official podcast of RealGuys.net. We are your hosts. My name is Ezekiel Gutierrez, and with me, as always, is
Christopher Will.
Typically, we like to start each show off with some random movie musings and a look at the week's film news. Then we dive into our reviews segment we call One Old, One New, in which we discuss one old film that you can currently find on Blu-ray and or DVD, and one new film that you can currently find in your local movie theaters. We then wrap up each show with our Steven Spielberg Minute and a top 5 list. Today, we're not doing any of that.
That's what I was going to say. We're explaining this.
Wait, but did you...
For people who are listening for the first time.
True.
So they know what to expect.
You get
today,
a lot of new listeners every day?
Yeah, all the time. Every week. With us, we have special guests today in studio. 3 guests that you've heard their voices grace the podcast before.
Actually, all at the same time, right?
Yeah, we had... well, let's introduce them. On the Transformers and comic book movie podcasts, Micah Rush, Brenden Toda, and Lauren Anderson. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yay.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here. Thanks for having us.
I would like to talk about movies that you went in with high expectations and kind of let you down.
We're going to start off on a low note. We're going to talk about disappointments, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about disappointments. Iron Man 2, for me, really, I enjoyed it for what it was. My thing was that Jon Favreau kept saying that it wasn't going to suffer from villainitis or whatever they call it.
Which that's true.
Just too many characters. I thought it suffered from too many characters.
How?
I just didn't feel like we saw Iron Man all that much in the movie. I think we had too much. We went away to Black Widow. We were Justin Hammer and War Machine. She was barely in it, but she as Black Widow, I guess. She was in it more as just.
So you had a problem with the camera showing Scarlet?
No.
Being the huge Iron Man fan that I am, I'll have to say that naturally I loved the movie, mostly because I'm very biased towards it, and also because I'm a pretty easy moviegoer to please. In that you give me action and you give me the characters, I'm going to be pretty satisfied with that. Yeah. Even though the storyline is not going to be incredible, I still get to see a Gatling gun on War Machine's shoulder, which just makes me happy. You know, even though War Machine and Iron Man are only fighting together for probably 20 seconds.
But it's awesome when it happens.
But it's that moment is really all I need for a movie to be happy. Iron Man 2, I think, is supposed to be its own, obviously its own epic movie is what the intentions of it are. But at the same time, it really serves more as a real stepping stone into the Avengers, because in all the Marvel movies recently, we've seen that, I want to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative, or, hey, I heard you have a problem that you need some help with, to General Ross. It's there's all these, obviously, we're talking about Avengers, but, the movie ends with him saying, we're talking about forming the Avengers, and we want Iron Man, but not you, type thing. So it's more of that. We need that jump start into Captain America and Thor.
Tell us your favorite movie that you saw this summer, and then briefly talk about.
Hopefully it'll be the same one. We'll all talk about the same movie.
Who
are we starting with? Ladies first?
Yeah, ladies first.
Easy?
See, overall movie, because
For the summer,
favorite movie that you've seen this summer? That you saw this summer?
It sounds like a conflicted. Talk about both. Whatever you're going to say.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 and Inception.
Oh,
I just saw it actually last night.
Inception?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Fresh.
Well, I know. It's all I could think about.
So
I was talking about it all
screwed up
night.
right now.
No, it was
Do you
amazing.
have your totem? You know if you're dreaming right now?
I'm not going to show it to you. I'm not going to touch
That's
it.
Nice.
But no, it was amazing. But Toy Story 3, I was looking forward to that since they had announced it. It was so good.
Yeah.
But Inception just blew my mind. I mean, Leo DiCaprio, it's really come a long way from Titanic, and just
I don't know.
I
I
think
thought he
he's
got
an
frozen.
amazing.
Never let you go.
But it just
Maybe
blew
that
my
was a
mind.
dream.
Christopher Nolan layers on the dream. While I was a big fan of those movies as well, and Inception is a very, very close number 2 for me, I love Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
It was my favorite movie of the entire year.
That was a great movie.
I think it was awesome. I can't imagine though that I think its audience is probably a little more narrow than some other movies, because my parents would not care. I think they might enjoy some of the maybe special effects or whatever, but a lot of the little video game references or little things like that, it'd go over a lot of people's heads.
True.
Yeah.
But for me, it was my favorite movie of the summer.
I took my best friend from high school had no idea what the source material was or what the movie was about.
Right.
I took him to go see it, and he just absolutely fell in love with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like not knowing anything and then seeing it. But for a casual audience too, they can enjoy it.
Yeah.
They just may not be the ones to go, "Oh my God, it's out now! I need to go see it."
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't see it until maybe like 2 weeks ago. I don't know the source material, but that's what I'm saying. Like I think it was made for kind of people our age.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. I think it's whereas Inception, you're targeting a lot more people, different ages. I think this one, maybe didn't have a chance to be a bigger hit this summer because
not box office wise.
Yeah, I'm
it's
talking about that. But
smart.
like I said, I agree with you. It was my favorite movie.
Fantastic.
And I didn't really expect anything in particular. I just went, to watch something, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I had no interest in seeing the movie at all, besides the fact that, that looks kind of cool and, like, maybe geared towards my age group. And I didn't really have any interest even going into the panel at Comic-Con. It wasn't until the panel ended that I was like, I can't wait to see this movie. And they're like, well, let's go see it. And the same thing that when she came out on stage at the panel, I was like, is that Anne from Arrested Development? Who's she? And they're like, they showed her to Roxy, and I was like, what? I was like, Arrested Development, this is as close as we're getting so far to a movie. Yeah, just the two of them.
Well, I think that's another fine example when the ensemble supports the leading actor.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that'll lift up somebody who you may not be a fan of, and then, wow, I really like this. And that is absolutely the case in Scott Pilgrim. Every single person. Because I remember telling you beforehand, he's going to fight Superman and Captain America back to back.
That's true.
And win. That's so cool.
That's true, yeah. But who would win in an ensemble battle? Inception team or
Scott Pilgrim?
Scott Pilgrim.
Really?
They just make you go to sleep.
Yeah.
They're not good
They could
fighters.
put you in limbo.
That's
I
true.
don't know.
What'd you say?
They could put you in limbo.
They could put you under and
But that's
shoot
if they
and
put
be
you
in
under.
limbo.
If they don't, if this is the real world, then
Well, you wouldn't know. They wouldn't know if they were put under. Remember? I don't know if it's a dream or not.
I'm saying I'd rather take. I'm sorry. If I'm
You
going to
take
take a
your
side.
chances in the real world
Yes.
against the Inception people. All right, so your favorite, Micah.
I'm actually going to have to reference back to the Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3, I had to watch it, had to see it. Knew it was going to be good, and I didn't see it until it had been out for I think about a week or so. At least a couple days in. So going in, I knew that we were going to have this sad ending, and so they're all like, the entire movie I just thought was set up. It was just perfect. It was all there, and then you get to this end where they're just sliding down to the incinerator, and the first thought in my head was, there's no way that they would destroy the toys. Oh my goodness, they're going to destroy the toys. Because I was like, everybody cried, everybody was sad. I was like,
this is it.
And it's one of those like, they would never do that, but they could. No, they wouldn't. Are they going to kill him? So it was just this like, how is it going to And the whole time I'm just thinking, how are they going to make me cry? How are they going to make me cry? Don't do it. And then they just all reach out and hold hands, and I'm like, they're gonna kill the toys, not the toys. Anything with the toys, let them live. And so I'm just sitting there obviously they're on a date the same. So I'm kind of thank goodness for 3D glasses. I'm just kind of pull my glasses out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm safe. I was it just absolutely wonderful. It ended in that, like we said, if there's not a Toy Story 4, I'm going to be happy with that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But if there is a Toy Story 4, yeah, we have the ability to, because now we've joined, our original toys with all these new toys.
Okay.
So we have the potential for it, but at the same time, I'm content in saying that was a great way to end a franchise movie section,
Well, they already said that in Cars 2 next year there's going to be a short beforehand, and it's going to be Toy Story, right?
Oh, cool.
I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely true. I knew that. Sure.
No, because they always do a short film beforehand, but this time it's going to be Toy Story.
That's kind of interesting.
So we get to see the characters again. Again, I'm getting choked up.
But I think my favorite movie of the summer was Inception. It's just so just the undertaking that film, the visual aspect of that film, the fact that they didn't do it in 3D, I can really respect, because he could have easily that movie could have looked awesome in 3D. What I can respect more than that is Christopher Nolan not dumbing down that movie. He could have easily just been like, well, audiences probably won't get it. They won't go back a second time and see it because they're a bunch of idiots in America. So let's not broaden it.
How dare you talk about America that way?
Yeah, he said, how about you come up to our level and enjoy it?
I don't know if you guys seen it already, but how do you feel about Let Me In?
I've seen the original. I don't know if you guys have seen
I
it.
have. Yeah.
Okay.
like we were sitting in
Which
for
panel?
Captain America
Oh,
and
there's a
Thor,
panel.
and we
I
saw
was-
we sat through like Resident Evil, and then there's one that was like let me in, and I was like let me in, well, whatever, It starts later, and then they start talking about all this stuff, and I'm like,
I know
this sounds exactly
I know
like
this.
Let the Right One In, and I was like, give me your phone, and so I bring up IMDb and I look, and I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm looking up character names and everything, and I'm like, yeah. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. And I was like, and this is 2008, and they're gonna remake it 2 years later. And then I'm like, oh, it wasn't made in America, because I saw the dub version. And it just looked like it's just cheap version that my roommate had downloaded. And he was like, hey, it's a vampire movie. I was like, okay, cool. So we watched it, and it was incredible. And then when I was watching this stuff, and I was like, I was getting so pissed off because I was like, I can't believe it. They completely ripped off this movie, and then because I was so mad.
Because people from Let the Right One In know that.
Because it's like 20 minutes into the panel, he's like, well, and when we first saw Let the Right One In, we really wanted to remake it, and I was like, you needed to say that at the beginning, because
some of us don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And so as soon as he said we loved it and we wanted to say, we want to make this same movie too, with a bigger budget, and we want to bring it to America.
America.
I was like, okay, now I completely accept it, and I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up our season 1 opener. Thank you again. Season 2. God almighty.
It's your show, and you don't remember?
Thank you, Lauren and Brenden and Micah, for being on the show.
Oh, it's been
You're
my
welcome.
pleasure.
Thanks for having us here. It was very exciting.
America.
Say, guest combination has been provided by.
Guest accommodations.
The show's
Guess
really
of the real guys.
Yeah, guess the real guys.
Stay at the
Yeah.
Waldorf Astoria, 4 Seasons.
Yeah, and wardrobe has been provided by Macy's. And
4 seasons. It's always summer.
You can listen to all of our back episodes at realguys.net/podcast. And next week we'll have a new, regularly formatted show for you to enjoy and listen to.